Welcome. Today we'll be looking at the newest DLC that was just released, the Land of the Eclipse, or Sands of Salzaar. If you don't know what that is, that's essentially Chinese Mountain Blade. It has 3 patches, and I have had a chance to look at these, but it's got Siege and Conquest, the Eclipse Hive, and Exotic Wayfarer. First, let's go ahead and show you the Exotic Wayfarer. Once you load up the mod, you don't even have to start a new game, but once you load up the mod, you are immediately given the mirror bead, which allows you to change your appearance. Customizing your avatar will change its appearance. That's kind of the point, sure. Okay, well that's certainly a look. And let's go to face, eyes, and no eyes. No, I'm not actually going to play it that way. While the patch notes say that they have added new face, eyes, hair, and nose and mouth and stuff, the biggest thing they mentioned is they added new models. This is new. This is new. New. I'm not sure if these two are new, but I doubt it, since these are probably soldiers. So I only counted 4 new models so far. We're gonna go and hit escape since I don't feel like changing our character, but that is the Exotic Wayfarer portion of the new mod. The second part we're going to cover is called the Eclipse Hive. I don't have enough for the Redstone Valley area. You need 10 clues in order to create a boss. So I've got 10 Twin Luna Valley, but I have a whole stack of 64 Umbra Cliff. Go ahead and use that one. If you see anything different from the normal Sands of Salzaar gameplay, it's because after 20 or so playthroughs of this, I have modded the game through that accumulation of time. And I'm not really talking much about it, since it's not the focus of today's video. We are gathering a group to head to the Land of the Eclipse at the Umbra Cliffs. And why are you here? Because I've got like, let's say 10, 15 mods. It would be a whole video on its own. We'll be able to create intel in the Land of the Eclipse for every 10 Umbra Cliff Eclipse clues you provide. You've handed in 0 thus far. This is a remainder number, so if I were to hand him, we'll say 34, he'll say that we've handed in 4. We're going to now go back to the enter instance option, which was open to us earlier, but there were no bosses. We have 1 of each boss. We're going to go ahead and attack them all. After defeating a boss, you can go up to the next difficulty level. You are allowed 4 allies. If I pick another one, one of them gets deselected. And you can even bring in soldiers if you wanted instead of heroes. We'll just bring in 4. The level 60 thing is not part of a mod. We'll kind of let them fight while I talk a little bit. I don't think it makes the game a cakewalk. As you can see, they're not actually doing much damage. Our character will do a ton more damage because I fed him all of our attribute growth items. I basically hogged them for myself. I'm trying to stay on topic so that the video is not as long as all my other videos, which are generally 1 to 2 hours. We can see a bigger chest behind the characters, blood steel armor, and just random other stuff that doesn't really matter too much for this video. $9,000 health, 90 strength. I mean, sure, it has 3 times more health than my current armor. Yeah, but I like that mine says when HP is higher than 50%, I'm immune to burning, whatever that's worth. But most importantly, I get a 15% bonus to attack. This is fine. I can definitely see it being useful for most players. The problem is, in order to get this number of notes, you have to run the dungeon a lot of times. I will say that while I don't want to talk about mods much, I will make an exception for this one mod. I'll link it in the description below. But this mod will remove the cooldown for dungeons. Actually, let's run over to a dungeon right now. There is a cooldown for dungeons after you've completed them, meaning that you cannot go back to it quickly. And then there's also a preparation time. Let's say generally 24 in-game hours. So you're just sitting there. The mod I have allows me to not have a preparation time. It also removes the resource requirement. I don't really care about that. I just glad it doesn't give me a preparation time, and I just attack this cave repeatedly. I definitely recommend you get at least that if you do plan on exploring the Eclipse clue. It'll make your life a lot better. But I think this is ridiculous. Just skip the whole clue part and go straight to the intel. This is what I would suggest, but fine. We'll go back to the Myrton now and fight the other bosses. I'm basically a final boss. All of the skills, except for 1 and 2, are Knight Errant skills, so nothing that he's doing here is different to a regular Knight Errant. Not that you can really see anything. You get this Spine Crusher, which is an axe. For the Knight Errant, I do prefer using heavy weapons, because he does have the regular swing ability just as a skill. So it doesn't really matter how slow your weapon is. It could have an 8-second cooldown on regular swings, and you're not actually just swinging, you're just mashing your skill button instead. Oh, I can pick 4. I'm used to picking 3. I had to run those dungeons so much that I would just pick 3 people. I'm used to it. You got the Fang of Seduction. Looks like some sort of earring or something. Probably an accessory. The geared stats themselves are not really relevant, because as a player, you're not going to know what items are unlocked by your Eclipse clues necessarily, and then you're going to get a random intel from him. So there's almost no point in trying to plan. I have killed the boar boss several times, and he's dropped a bloodsteel every single time, even on easy, normal, and hard. These are the items I get for these Umbra Valley monsters. Okay, let's go ahead and warp over to Zagros Mountains, and we'll hit up 3 more. Move on to the next section of the DLC mod. We're gathering a group to head to Hazelands. One of the things I wish the Sands of Salzaar developers would do is really get used to doing a user interface. Once you've turned in your clues, just drop them straight into Enter Instance. But again, I think they should just get rid of clues entirely and go straight to the intel. I guess we'll do Storm Wizard first. We'll solo it, that's fine. Magic is actually what my Knight Errant is weakest to. Wow, oh, so I probably have to like break your crystals or something, don't I? Arc of Storms. Looks like a staff of some sort. Did she even cast any spells at me? While these weapons do have skills, skills themselves can also be very in-depth. And as with the point of the video, I don't think it's going to necessarily make or break your idea of buying the product. This guy actually has a lot of health. He's surviving more than a couple auto hits from me. I have to use some skills to kill him quickly. I get intel from him? Oh, I didn't know that you could do that. The characters are stuck. Okay, the one we just got was the Dragon Maiden, so we'll skip the Tundra Abbot and just go straight to the Dragon Maiden. The Ice Wizard was kind of interesting in that it had a gimmick with its spell crystals. I assumed it would have had more crystals if I didn't kill it so fast. Total progress and current progress. I don't know if that was always there. Wow, okay, that hurt. I like this attack because she can't hurt what she can't see. I gave this character Frost Arcana just so that I wouldn't be frozen, yet I'm still getting frozen from attacks. That's why I couldn't move out of that red circle. Hi? No? No peace? Okay. And from the, what I would assume, the mightiest Zagros Mountains boss, we have the Frostforged Dragon Plate. Max health plus 50%. This actually sounds pretty good. For these characters, I did give them 15... Let's see, maybe not her. I gave her evasive armor. For the other two frontliners, I gave them max health plus 25%. Again, I'm not really worried about the skills. I know that sounds odd, but I have covered at least, say, 200, 300 skills of the game, and they generally aren't that interesting enough to spend a lot of time talking about. Now we're going to... Actually, we can just do this here. I'm going to go ahead and show you the next part of the DLC mod, which is sieging. It says, reinvents siege battles by replacing the final line of defense with city walls, intensifying the visual spectacle and giving defenders a strategic advantage. Well, that is true. It does give them a strategic advantage. Just because my characters are level 60 does not mean that they will stomp the enemy. In fact, if I do nothing, my characters will die. If you've beaten Sands of Salzaar at all, and you've gone up to about difficulty level 3, if you just auto-attack the very first monster in the storyline mode, where it's the very first Ifrit you find, he'll probably kill you. The enemy also is level 60. I forgot to mention that. All this really does is just lets you have more skill points to play with and reach higher attribute values, like stamina and stuff. Oh, this actually is not a Knight Errant skill. My W key, that's Trample. So I guess I can talk about it now that I'm doing some fighting, because that'll take a little bit. I am running, as I mentioned earlier, I'm running, we'll say, 10 or so mods. One of the mods allows you to pick for your legacy points the other skill trees in the game. It still costs you legacy points, and generally in the ballpark of, say, 50 to 80. Since I remember this game having an awful sense of balance, I gave my character all the skill trees that gave me defensive stats. So he's got something like 97% physical damage reduction. It definitely does not mean he's invincible to physical damage, because he still can... before I beefed him up with potions and stuff, he was not able to solo armies. Like, I thought maybe once I got the 90% that I would be invulnerable with heals. No, it's not. Didn't happen. I actually had to keep building him up. Since we're on like the 150th day or so, this is about as powerful as I've gotten him. The reason I'm killing these guys is if they reach my base and destroy it, it's just a building. It has no defensive towers or anything. But if they reach my base, I will lose. Because I have no defenders. The wooden barrels themselves are like little explosive barrels. When you get some resources when you destroy buildings, but you should click up here. You can kind of see the shadow right there. Basically click right next to the health bar, as if it was a person. If you try clicking other stuff on the buildings themselves, not counting the towers, I'll show you on the next set of buildings. He got away from me. That's essentially my ultimate. Okay, here's the wall. So let's say I wanted to attack this building. If I'm clicking around down here where the base of the building looks like, it's not going to get anything. You want to click up here where it would be if it was a person. They may change that in the future, but they still have not even patched the Spirit Witch bug that I mentioned in my last Sands of Salzaar video. So the city gate door opens up animation-wise when they're passing through. Given our high-level characters, it doesn't seem to be scaled to our characters. Meaning it does go very quickly. Hitting the archers is a little bit of an iffy affair. Alright, that was the frost version of the map. We'll just say the freeze states, and then we'll do one for the Ifrit. Let's see here, Ifrit domain. Apparently someone's already attacking it. Can I join? No, I guess not. I actually never expected to find the humans that far in the map. That's a first for me. Generally, the E3 players are just crushing the humans, and the humans are always just struggling to reclaim their towns. Where is it? Okay, there's one. Apparently, the AI has not spent that much time building up their base. I do not like the zoomed in nature or feel of this. Apparently his army is bigger than mine, or more dangerous than mine. When it's that bright red, it means that they are willing to attack you. If you're much stronger than them, it may be a pinkish color like this. Well, chances are he would have shown up anyways to defend this city, so that was a little easier on me. Because I'd have to get through them anyways. Someone just spawned, it might have been him for all I know. Fighting horses is a pain because when they're moving towards you, they'll probably stun you and knock you backwards. And I'll tell you, players just love being stunned all day. I'm trying really hard not to spam all my skills in that it will flood the screen with skill on cooldown, skill on cooldown. The Knight Errant tries to rely on comboing your skills. There is a limit to the number of times enemies can respawn. You can notice that my allies have not respawned. It's fine. Here's what we'll do. We're just going to rush on over and see what the base looks like. I don't actually need to defeat the base. Okay, we have lost because Yusuf just died there. Right now, Sands of Salzaar is 60% off until December 21st. So you can pick this up for $6, which I think is a fair price for the game, actually. Normally, this is $15. I hope this video was able to help you decide if you ever wanted to pick up Sands of Salzaar, or if you're looking to see what Land of the Eclipse held in store for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.